We're a week away from crowning the next winner of Survivor, so here are all my takeaways from part 1 of the finale. Going into this episode, I expected a battle between two 3-person alliances. You had the Operation Italy alliance, as well as this random group of Sue, Teenie, and Rachel. Immediately following the Caroline blindside, Teenie is duped into thinking that the previous vote was a result of circumstances and luck. Teenie then agrees to work with this trio in targeting Rachel at the upcoming tribal council. This was a tough look for Teenie. I agree with the move of gunning for Rachel, but they are so clearly manipulated into reaching that decision. Initially, it looks like Rachel will play her idol and they will knock Sam out of the game. Everything changes when Andy decides to hype up his resume to Rachel. This inspires her to flip the vote onto Andy instead. Obviously, this is a major blunder from Andy's perspective, but it's also a move that's facilitated by factors outside his control. If Rachel doesn't have an idol clue handed to her during the auction, then she goes out in 6th place, and Andy's move here is completely harmless. I also question Rachel's decision to vote out Andy over Sam. Rachel must know at this point in the season that she's one of the biggest jury threats remaining in the game. Her goal should be making the final tribal, not eliminating those contestants with competitive resumes. Even though I personally think that Andy has played a much better strategic game than Rachel, it seems like the jury of 47 likes Rachel more. I bet she beats both Sam and Andy in a jury vote, so why not vote out Sam, who is clearly the better challenge competitor? Anyways, Andy falls in 6th place. I know that some people will claim that his Operation Italy move was a bad decision as he got eliminated in the following round. I fully believe that Andy made the right choice there as it built his resume. That move gives Andy a fighting chance in any final tribal council combination, and it actually causes Teenie to flip over to his side. I'm still an Andy fan, so at the end of the season when I make my player power rankings, he will have a serious argument for the #1 spot because he's always in the majority alliance, even through his elimination. At Final 5, we see this rivalry between Genevieve and Rachel, where if one of them wins individual immunity, the other is likely going home. Rachel wins that challenge, but it's another instance of her relying on the immunity necklace. If she is vulnerable in any tribal council from the final 7 onwards, she's voted out, which I think shows a complete lack of social insulation. Anyways, Teenie flips over to Rachel's side. There's an entire saga surrounding the integrity of Genevieve's idol, but she's ultimately taken out over Sam. So Genevieve ends up in 5th place. She is the final boss of the season, and in my opinion, one of the best players on this cast. She demonstrates a lot of game ability on this season through the Keyshawn blindside in the pre-merge and the solve vote at the final 10. Like Andy, I think her game is largely disrupted through advantages which are completely outside her own control. Here are the alliance dynamics going into the final 4. Make sure you're following our page as I'll have videos coming out later this week that walk through my predictions for every possible final tribal council combination, as well as my official prediction for the finale.